Bonjour à tous! J'espère que vous allez bien. Je m'appelle Chetna et bienvenue ici. Aujourd'hui, on va commencer avec l'impératif. Do you know what is imperative? As now we are already done with the regular verbs, the irregular verbs, and the pronominal verbs, we will be now starting with another kind of tense, which is imperative, which is again a part of the present tense. Let's see what is imperative. Imperative is nothing but the tense that we use to order, to demand something, to propose something, to advise something. Like in normal English, we say, open the door, right? So, ouvre la porte. That is how it works. Ferme la porte. Close the door. So, it is very similar to the demands that we talk about in English, right? Demands, orders, advices, everything like that. Also, you would know that in these kind of sentences, we usually don't need any kind of subject pronoun, right? We say, close the door. There is no I, you, me, he, she, here. So we don't use the subject pronouns. But the imperative is done only using three subject pronouns without their actual usage. It is just that we conjugate them, tu, nous, and vous, right? So we will always be using these three personal pronouns for the imperative. Moving ahead, let's see how it actually works. It is working here as the normal conjugation for the, let's see for the first one, normal conjugation for tu, nous, and vous for vanilla. So regular conjugation says vient, vano, vane, right? And it is very similar in imperative, but without the tu, nous, and vous. For prendre also, pran, prano, prane. But here's a twist when we talk about any kind of ER verbs. Now, when I say any kind of ER verbs, I am talking about the ER regular verbs and not just ER regular, we also say ER ending, ER ending like ale. You would see that ale is ending with ER. It is not conjugated like ER, but is ending with ER. Similarly, ER like conjugated. Now, what are ER like conjugated? If you have studied this, where we list four verbs, offrir, découvrir, couvrir, and ouvrir, all of these use ER as their ends. We never use them as regular IR verbs. So all of them are ER like conjugated. And the last ones that we have are the ER conjugated like the normal ones. Parle, aimer, adorer, préférer, détester, all of them. Okay. Now, what is the difference here that I was saying? All of them, if you remember that whenever we talk about the ER verbs, right, in tu, we always have the tendency to add es at the end. Now, what is the rule? The rule is to delete the s at the end. For example, it is always tu parle with s, right? But when I transform it into imperative, it is going to be parle. Okay? I hope I made this rule clear to you. Moving ahead with ale, you could see tu va, but it is just va without the s when we make the imperative. And here is the rule when it applies. I hope this was clear to you. Before moving on to the others, I would like you to try ouvrir. Now, ouvrir is conjugated as this. Tu ouvres. So whenever I make it the imperative, it's going to be ouvre, ouvrez, ouvrons, okay? And not ouvri, ouvrions, or ouvrisons, no. Okay, it's always going to be ouvrons. D'accord? Okay, let's go ahead to the next. Okay, now what you have to understand here is there are some exceptions. Now, what kind of exceptions am I talking about? Exceptions related to the verbs. Now, what verbs are exceptions? We learn it with save. S for savoir, A for avoir, V for vouloir, E for être. So these are the conjugations that are already given to us. Ayant, aye for avoir. Soit, soyons, soyez for être. Sache, sachant, sachez for savoir. And veuille, voyons, voyez for vouloir. So you don't need to conjugate or you don't need to do anything for these kind of verbs. All you have to do is remember these exceptions, remember these conjugations, and directly imply. Let's move ahead to the next thing that we have to study, that is the pronominal verbs. Now, till now, we were studying how to conjugate ER verbs, regular verbs, irregular verbs in imperative. But here, the pronominal verbs have a small change. First rule is always to remove tu, nous, and vous that we had already done. In case of tu, now because sabile is the verb which is ending again with er, so we remove the s at the end in case of tu. Now, the rule is to always crisscross, like abil tua. The t in front of abil becomes tua, and it goes after abil. Similarly, nous goes after, vous goes after. Now, this has a reason because it can never start with a pronoun. Okay, so we cannot write nous habillons in imperative. It has to be habillez nous so that we are not starting it with the subject pronoun. Moving ahead, let's study the negation of the imperative sentences. Normal negation says only one rule: put the no in front of the verb and pas after the verb. So, ne parle pas. But now, here's a twist. What we studied in the pronominal verbs was to put the te as toi afterwards, nous afterwards, and vous afterwards, like habillons-nous, habillez-vous. But here, it is not the case. Whenever we talk about negation, right, in pronominal verbs, we always consider it as normal, like ne nous habillons pas, ne te lève pas, n'oublions pas, ne parle pas, n'entrez pas, don't enter. So these kind of directions, these kind of commands, this kind of orders, everything generally requires the use of imperative. I hope I have made it all clear to you. Follow us, subscribe us for more such videos, and we'll see you soon. Merci beaucoup. Au revoir.